I'm Amber Nash, the voice of your favorite HR nightmare, Pam Poovey. Welcome to our Archer Rewatch podcast. This season, we're starting at the very beginning and going all the way through. That's right, this season we're covering every episode of Season 1, one by one, with some of your favorite people from Archer. Welcome to Rephrasing. Hey guys, welcome to Season 1, Episode 9. I'm your host, Amber Nash, and here with me as always we have...
I'm Casey Willis, executive producer on Archer.
And...
I'm Christian Danley. I was an editor on Archer.
Together with our guest today, we are going to talk about job offer. After a failed mission in Paris, Archer takes a position at Odin. Lana is pissed because that position was offered to her. Mallory is upset because her baby boy left her. There's only one thing she can do now: get blasted on absinthe and make bad choices. Today's guest is a world-renowned tastemaker, lover, and raconteur. He was the writer, showrunner for the YouTube Premium and Sci-Fi Network animated series Dallas and Robo, starring John Cena and Kat Dennings. He co-wrote the feature film Supercon, starring John Malkovich, Clancy Brown, and Brooks Brazelman. And he has a long history working in animation. His writing credits include Comedy Central's Trip Tank, G4 TV's Code Monkeys, as well as creating two digital series, Songs for Helping and Sipes Stories for Adult Swim. He cut his teeth in the animation world working as an editor for the FX series Archer, Unsupervised, and Chosen, as well as Adult Swim's Minora Team, MTV's DJ and the Fro, and many, many more shows you vaguely remember. But his most cherished professional credit is art department PA for the 2004 film Soul Plane.
What?
He lives a charmed life surrounded by beautiful women, his wife Rachel, and three daughters, Lucy, Opal, and Betsy. He's a fan of soft cheeses, hard water, and Oxford commas. It's Andy Sipe!
Yay!
Nice.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thanks
The
for
Oxford
being
comma
here.
thing works better if you're reading it.
Yeah.
Because there's a
Still funny.
water,
Right.
comma, and...
Right. Andy, I wore my John Cena shirt today.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah,
This is-
nice.
I want
John
to
Cena
say,
shirt.
of course, John Cena was already an established wrestler, but I feel like you guys were one of the first people to use him,
Right.
definitely as a VO artist, right?
Yeah, it was his first... I think he had signed on... I think he was doing Honda, but, like, that's not really the same thing. Like, he hadn't done characters or anything.
Yeah.
And... Yeah, he the only comedy he had done to that point was that little bit in the Amy Schumer movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had done that.
He's so great in
Yeah,
that, too.
Trainwreck. And then we were putting that together, and we had actually wrote the pilot script for Dallas and Robo. You're talking about Dallas and Robo. So we had written the pilot script for Dallas and Robo, and he read that and really liked it. And saw that I had worked on Archer. And
That's so
loved
cool.
Archer.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
And so, like, that was sort of the
That was such an honest, cool from Casey.
It's so cool. And I have to tell you guys, the reason I have a John Cena shirt is because I was hanging out with my sister, who is a world-class smartass. And we were hanging out, and I'd had a few drinks, and I was going on about how I thought that John Cena was the best actor of our generation. And my sister was like, wait, you're telling me that you think that John Cena's the best actor of our generation? And I was like, yes, he's funny, he's charming, he went from wrestling to acting. Like, I was going on and on about it. And she brings it up every time I see her. And so for my birthday this year, she bought me, her and my niece had this shirt made for me with John Cena on it.
That's
I love
great.
it.
It's really good.
He's awesome, by the way. Like, he's
bet.
everything that you think that he is. Like,
Great.
he's like super hardworking, and like it was so funny. He showed up every episode in a suit, full John Cena suit.
Awesome.
Except for the last record. The last record, he came straight from the gym after working out, and we were like, well, I guess he's comfortable with us. He didn't put his suit on.
Yeah, that's good.
And then also, it was funny, the way we recorded that show, you know, similar to Archer, I know you guys just recorded everybody one at a time. It wasn't like a Simpsons thing where everybody got together. So we would record John and Kat separately, but they had such a, an Archer-Lana relationship where they were just bounce off each other all the time, that the way we recorded it is I would be in the booth with both John and Kat doing the other lines, playing opposite. So I could sort of like... and then Matt Mariska, my writing partner, would be in the booth directing that from there. And so I would do Kat if she had recorded first, or do John to her if she had recorded first. But it was funny because the recording booth was very, very small. And I am a very large man, and John Cena is obviously a very large man. And so we would be in this tiny little room. I mean, it was 8 by 8. Like, it was tiny. So it was very funny. But,
I bet he smells good too, even after the gym.
He smells like coffee. He has the craziest coffee order, and maybe it was crazy at the time, but maybe now it's common. We from Starbucks we'd get the largest black coffee you could get, but with room for cream. But instead of cream, we'd put 2 espresso shots in it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I have
coffee on top of the coffee.
I have seen him like in interviews. He's a coffee snob.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Like if I had the John Cena cash, I would be a snob about everything.
But like in a way where he's like, here's how I tell if a coffee shop is legit or not.
Yeah.
I order a flat white. If it comes to me in a cappuccino mug, well then I know they don't know what they're doing. It's pretty great.
He's
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah, he's 100% as advertised. Like,
That's
cool,
cool.
dude.
So great.
We were also just like, not to I know this is the Archer podcast, but
I don't mind.
we recorded in the same at the same studio that they were making BoJack Horseman in. And so the recording booth was right next to the BoJack Horseman writer's room. And we would have to have all of our talent go in. And so this email went out through the studio saying, like, okay, everyone, please. I remember this so vaguely because it, like, infuriates me. Casey knows, like, if something will get stuck in my head. But, like, it said, please respect the sanctity of the BoJack writer's room by not making too much noise when you're bringing the talent back. And so, like, everybody was just like,
sanctity?
What? The sanctity of the room.
No comedy has any sanctity.
And so,
when I think of the BoJack Horseman writers' room, I think of a lot of crying. they're just making each other cry constantly.
What's so great is we had, the whole season just like carefully bringing all these people back, and we had a great cast. It was like, like Kat Dennings, but then also Stephen Root and Jane Lynch and all these like amazing people. We were like sneaking past down a hallway and like, don't be too loud,
Please.
Jane Lynch. It's like, sorry. But one time we were
This
walking,
is sanctified ground.
do you realize BoJack Horseman is being written right across? So we were bringing John Cena back once, and one of the writers just was like, whoa, that's John Cena! And then, like, every writer poured out, and we're, like, getting selfies and stuff, and I was like, we've just destroyed the sanctity.
Amazing.
Yeah, right? Yeah, good. You
Oh, boy.
desanctified it.
Andy, before we get started talking through the episode, I wanted to know if you remember, because it was many years ago, how you started working on Archer, how you got the job, how you ended up there.
So it was really interesting because I, Los Angeles guy, had been in Los Angeles forever. I was working on a TV show called DJ in the Fro, which got its first shout out in 15 years, thanks to you reading my stupid bio. And DJ in the Fro was like an MTV show that was sort of like Beavis and Butthead, but about YouTube clips.
Okay.
Lasted one season. It was funny. Like, Nat Faxon was in it. Like, good. Everybody's got good casts and stuff. Yeah. But so I was working on DJ in the Fro, and then I got a call from Jay Edwards, the great Jay Edwards.
Big fan of Jay Edwards.
Yeah, fame. And he said, there's a show being made in Atlanta that needs an editor, and would you be interested in doing it? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm just about to wrap on this show. And he said, I think it starts next Monday. It's like a Tuesday or something. I had a 3-month-old at the time. My oldest daughter was 3 months old at the time.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. And but you know, like in working in production, like you know, it's like, who knows? Like, I turn it down, and then I'm not working for 6 months.
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, I'm interested. And then I got a call from Craig Harton.
Yep,
I believe.
Craig,
who
at
worked
Radical.
at the studio that we did season 1 in, and he interviewed me, and he was like, "This is it's a new show for FX. You know, FX had never done animation before, and it's by the guys who did Frisky Dingo." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, fantastic!" and they were like, "By the way, they hate every editor they've ever worked with."
Great setup.
All right. I was like, well, that makes it worth, like, moving across the country. And so I said, this is great. Huge fan of Frisky Dingo.
That's cool.
Love to do it. So after work that day, I ran to Barnes & Noble and bought all the Frisky Dingo DVDs and watched them for the first time.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Yep.
And luckily, it was great. Like, obviously, you guys both know, like, it was an awesome show, and
But
so
also easily to digest.
Yeah.
a quick watch.
yeah, it really was. But like, I loved it. Like, I honestly loved it. Like, I would have taken the job had it been dog shit, but I loved it anyway. And so I was like feeling pretty good. And then I was on a plane like 3 or 4 days later. Met Craig at the airport. Had never met him before. They took me to like some corporate housing that was right across the street from the studio. Got a 1-bedroom, and then
Nice.
my wife and our little daughter, who was 3 months old at the time, flew out like a week later because my in-laws were in town visiting us in Los Angeles for 2 weeks. So we were like, we might as well let their trip play out, and I left halfway through. And then we had a buddy of mine. I paid a buddy of mine to drive our car out later.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just I was.
You were saying that you said that they hated every editor they worked with, but I think about, like, we had to learn how to make a real TV show, and editing was a large part of it. Like, when you watch Frisky Dingo, like, we didn't know we were doing, and
Well, it was Adult Swim.
Right,
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
that was part of the aesthetic of it.
It's great,
but
yeah.
At some point, you have to start making a real TV show, and so we needed that learning curve.
Yeah.
So man, I'm glad that you stuck it out with
They
those
told
guys.
me some story about how they put a fake name of. I'm just spilling all the tea,
Yep.
but
Do it.
nobody
Yeah.
at Adult Swim still works there anymore. But like on one of their shows, they
was
made
C-Lab.
up a couple of twins or something.
Mike Lazo said to Matt and Adam, "Hire an editor," and they're like, "No, we're not going to do it." And he's like, "No, you have to. We're not going to keep buying the show unless you." So they just made up a name and put it in the credits, and it was a Jim Jamble of Mike Lazo's name was the name of these two editing people that would be credited in.
And it was like a German guy or something,
Yeah,
and they were
yeah.
like, he doesn't speak any English, but he's great.
You can't talk to him.
So
Oh my
awesome.
God. We were into season 2 of Making Frisky Dingo, and I was like, I'm starting to understand what this show's about. I gotta get out of here.
I loved it. I was like, oh, this is so I just thought it was cool, and it was wild. Of course, Adult Swim was the Wild West,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it was like much better than any Adult Swim stuff that I'd worked on. So I was like, all right, this could be cool.
That's so cool. I just have to say about Jay Edwards that he directed the Mike Schatz music video for the song Rusty Trombone that I got to be in. And that was the last thing I
so
did with
pretty,
Jay before
too.
he moved.
It's such a
is. It's
beautifully
such a great
shot video.
Jay's great.
Good
We
old
always
Jay
make
Edwards.
fun
I
of
miss that
Jay
guy.
because
Yeah.
he'll be like, it's Jay's laugh.
Man, when we were working on our Adult Swim show, C Lab, we were in the basement of William Street. We would come up and see like Jay's editing suite, and we're like, that's a real person editing.
Yeah.
a show.
He's great.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Jay. I mean, without Jay, I'm not talking to you guys. Don't know, don't have a 15-year romance with Casey. So
Okay, let's get into the cold open. So in the cold open, we see Archer and Lana are in a stupid little car in Paris. Their cover's blown because Archer was trying to hook up with a hostess. They managed to corner Kasparov. I loved the line, "That was a fluke." Yeah, a fluke of nature. And then Barry swoops in and steals Kasparov, offering Lana a job with Odin. A lot happens, and I love the stupid little French car that they're in the beginning.
Yes. I think it's supposed to be a Fiat, I believe.
yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
Adam, amongst all the other stuff that he's very into, he knows a lot about vehicles and stuff. Right. So he probably was like, this needs to be a 1965 Fiat, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
It
And
needs
so,
to
Andy,
have
you were
the
there.
proper sound effects.
Right.
Michael Mann style.
Yeah.
And Andy, you were there for all of the episodes for season 1?
Yes. The pilot, I did a re-edit of the pilot, but very, very slight re-edit. But then, yes.
Okay.
I'm sure
And
they're like, please have a real editor take a pass at this.
I have a technical question. So we had, yesterday, we talked to Mac Williams, who was the animation director, and we had Neil on earlier in the season.
Awesome.
And so one of the things that I'm trying to wrap my head around is like an editor that works on a live action show versus an editor that does sound editing, but also were there editors also doing editing that was of the visuals that we're seeing in a animated show, or is it just voice editing?
Well, this show is a little different than shows I had worked on in the past, probably just because of its lineage. There was very little video editing on this show. Like most shows that I worked with in the past, you would cut the radio play and then you'd layer in the animatics over the top, and then it would be shipped out to be animated somewhere else, and then the animation comes in and it's usually a disaster. And so then it goes back and forth and there's lots of editing beyond that. But this show, since it was all in-house and it was Mac, who's awesome, it was Neil, who's awesome, like once the animatic was locked, like it was almost just like drag and drop the animation over the top, and it was ready to go. Because like we did sound effects edit beforehand on the animatic, and it worked mostly pretty well. I think we did have someone else in the mix house go over when they would do the final audio mix. I think they would add in sound effects, but we used a lot of the same sound effects, I believe, that we used when we were cutting it. So yeah, it was a little different. Most of the time, most of the work once the animation came in was Casey and I sitting shoulder to shoulder, staring at the screen, going, "Did his hair part flip from one side to the next? Did the button switch on one thing? Did his jawline? Did the heavy black jawline double up? Like
it's like a level of QC that's required in that.
I mean, it was crazy.
Like your editing touches, really, you get to have a say in the beginning, and then after that, because the schedule's moving so quickly, like you don't have time to futz. Once it goes to animation, that's like, all right, hands off now. We're just
most of the other shows though that I've worked on past that, before that somewhat, but the shows I'd worked on before that, Archer was really a step up. Like working on an FX show was like a step up from the Adult Swim, the G4, the MTV shows. Like working on an FX show was definitely a step up for me.
Yeah, one of the things, so I think just having been, because I stumbled into voice acting, it wasn't like, I'm going to be a voice actor, because if I had said that, I would have never done anything, because that's how it's been since I did Archer. I'm a voice actor now, right? But one of the things that just through becoming a voice actor and then being more open to just hearing people's voices and being able to recognize them, which I don't think I had an ear for earlier, one of the things that now I can't not hear is dry mouth. So like if I'm listening to a podcast or like NPR or there's somebody that's got dry mouth, like I can't it's
a
like
sip of water.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. Like I cannot handle it. But you guys must have heard so many things. And like, were mouth noises, are those a thing? Do they freak you out?
Another thing that Adam sort of taught me, or that I stole from him after working on it, was using as much of that, the ums and the whats and stuff as possible. Like we'd layer those in, and that's what gave Archer a lot of its really great rhythm. Was we'd steal somebody like Parnell, especially, like before he would record, be like, okay, and then we'd just like take that and sprinkle it in.
Interesting, because we've talked about how the characters become more like the actors through the series, and that must be where that all started from, where you're taking real things that they're not intending as an actor for you to have. It's just what's happening in the booth. That's so cool. Yeah,
well, it was super easy with Archer because like most of the people were just doing their real voice, and so you could do that a lot. There were sometimes, I think, with Cheryl, where it would be like, I don't know, that sounds like Judy. That doesn't sound like a character.
Man, we're not there, but her shudder noise at the stucco teeth line, like I just can imagine the takes on that and like going through and finding the right Judy Greer shudder.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Jumping ahead, but since we're on the topic of the voiceover, I remember because, as you'll get to in Act 1, Jeffrey Tambor's in this episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Casey, if you remember this, but I remember watching it back now going like, when we got Tambor's audio, I remember going like, this is not good.
Oh, no.
Like I was like, I don't know. Like, does this work? Because he was doing some weird stuff. But then, like, watching the episode, like, it cut in perfectly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it was great.
It sounds great in episode.
There's some voice actors that do that where you just like, I don't know. And then
we recorded Chuck D for an episode of C-Lab, and I remember me and Matt came back like starstruck. We were like, oh, it was so, and everybody else listened, they're like, this isn't that great, dude. We're like, but it's Chuck D.
I was noticing in Jeffrey's lines that he would start and he would kind of peak in the middle, and then it would always get quiet at the end in such an interesting way that I was like, this is kind of cool. It makes you lean in and listen to him a little bit more.
It was weird. I remember that. I hadn't thought about that in a while, but I definitely, watching the episode back, I was like, there was a couple of lines, I don't even remember what they were, where I was like, oh yeah, I remember sitting there listening to it the first time going like, I don't know if this works. Like,
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think there
Casey,
was
what were you gonna say?
I think there was a couple of guest stars or just other actors that sometimes it would come in. Because you know, when you get somebody like a Jeffrey Tambor, they're not auditioning. That's an offer only.
You have hired
right.
And you hire him to get him doing him.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
which is why you maybe get thrown off when you get this
like, wait,
weird...
you're not doing how I have your voice in my head.
Right.
But it's actually more, it's better. It's the real thing.
I mean, even
it's cool
when we got Ron Perlman, right?
Yeah.
And then he's doing this pretty heavy Cuban thing that he had this whole idea.
Yeah.
But I've talked about this before. Then also sometimes you got to let the actor surprise you with what you get.
Yeah.
So those Tambor and Perlman were like, okay, this is not what I expected, but let's make it work. Yeah. And it obviously did on both occasions.
I was doing this show called Trip Tank, which was for Comedy Central, and it was like a animated sketch comedy show. And we had 1 million guest actors on it, and they'd come in and we recorded Batista once. Speaking of wrestlers who are awesome, this was or I think maybe he had shot Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was kind of like as his star was rising, and we just had this stupid little thing. Like we needed him for like 4 lines, and he was in Florida, so we were recording remotely, and he was like, "Yeah, I was going over the lines with my girlfriend or wife, my partner at the time, or my partner, and so I came up with this character. Now tell me what you guys think." And it was like, what? It was great and it was cute, but I was like, this dude's in Guardians of the Galaxy, and we need him for 4 lines of a Jackass Comedy Central show. And he's so like, fun. Working lines with his.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
I wrote a short bio.
I love it when actors like go above and beyond in a way that you don't expect, like celebrities, where you're just like, wow, this person. Chris Parnell is like that too, man. He shows up, like when he's done our podcast a couple times, and he has done his homework, and he is ready, and he is just like so professional, and you're like, we don't deserve your attention in the way that you're giving it to us.
Like
he's so great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Wow.
Amber can attest to this too because of her professional wrestling background.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like that might be a hallmark of wrestlers to have to embody a character like anytime they're in public. And not only the wrestling show.
Yeah, that's true.
Also the wrestlers, Cena obviously, but Batista and I'm trying to think if there's any. I think those, I guess, maybe are the only 2 like big wrestlers I've worked with. But like, wrestlers' work ethic is a lot different than
they've been exploited for so long. They're used to it.
Right. Because in the early days, you're showing up with everything. Like they're packing in all their shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cena was like, I gotta keep wrestling. He's like, if I don't keep wrestling, like they'll forget about me in a minute. And I was like. I don't know, John. I think you may have gone over that threshold. And he's like, no, you gotta stay.
I'm wearing a John Cena shirt that was bespoke. I actually only wrestled at strip clubs, so I didn't have as much of like a public,
Okay, so you're an undefeated wrestler, aren't you? Isn't that?
Not undefeated, unvictorious. The other way around.
You're a defeated wrestler.
Oh my god, it's so good.
They're almost the same thing.
So we get into Act 1. Mallory's on the phone with the mayor of Paris. She finds out that they didn't get Kasparov. I love that Cyril is painting Lana's toenails. And one of the things that I noticed is that I think I've been realizing this through watching season 1 is that Pam has a lot more outfits than I remember her having. I was like, she has the peach outfit and the blue outfit, but she's wearing a lot of different outfits in this season. Does that continue? Do you remember?
I mean, eventually I think somebody's going to have to be like, we're spending a lot of money on outfits for characters. There's a reason why most shows just have one standard outfit. Yeah.
Well, Adam, I very much remember every episode, every character had to be wearing something different. Yeah. And it was like, it was a pain in the ass, but like, it was like a good pain in the ass because it like really set the show apart.
Yeah.
Because, and that's what that's what he wanted to do. But like, it was crazy trying to be like, okay, here's the lineup for this episode, and Mallory's wearing this, and Pam's wearing this, and Archer's got this suit, this tie on, and Cyril has the vest on this week, or he doesn't. Like there were a lot of different color combinations.
Yeah, and most animated shows just don't do that at all. They're all just wearing the exact same thing the whole 40 years that they're on the air.
Right, like Gilligan's Island stuff.
Okay, so for Act 1, I wrote some notes down too.
Yeah,
great.
Some of my thoughts, because my thoughts are super important.
They are. That's why you're here.
Woodhouse doing heroin with the lemur was insane.
I know.
And then also, I don't know if this was. I didn't go back and watch the episode leading into this one. Sorry.
Right. That's okay.
But was this the first episode with Barry?
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, great Dave Willis.
Yeah.
There was a casting thing with Barry that I remember.
Oh.
We wanted to, Adam, I believe, wrote the role for Adam Scott.
Interesting.
And we went out to Adam Scott, and Adam Scott declined. He said, "No, I don't want it."
Our first rejection.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
I mean,
so,
at least since I was on there.
Yeah,
okay.
and what I remember is because I worked on Crank Yankers with Adam Scott's now wife. She was an assistant. We were both like coming up at the same time. Naomi Scott, who runs his production company, and she's awesome.
Cool.
But later on, I was trying to cast Adam Scott in something else, and so I just sent a Facebook message to Naomi, and she didn't reply. You know, Facebook, like who's on Facebook ever? But then when the movie got like some press about it, like for casting, she replied and was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't," because we sent the offer to Adam Scott's people to be in this movie, and then John Malkovich signed on to be in the movie, and then she sent a message to me like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't see this. When did you guys send it? And when did you guys do the offer?" And I was like, "Oh, it was like 2 months ago or whatever." She was like, "I'm so sorry." So getting through Adam Scott's people was the issue.
Yeah.
I don't think Adam Scott read this and said, "This is not for me."
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but that everybody took it very personally.
It's so
right?
weird to think of what it would have been like with
Right.
him as Barry.
Yeah,
Well,
interesting
Dave
choice.
is fantastic.
Yes.
As Barry.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
like him being so close and being like of like mind and coming up through that, like
Yeah.
Barry got to do so much crazier shit later on.
Yeah.
Because
And
it was
they
Dave,
set
I
up
think.
they set up They set up Barry so well in this
Yeah.
episode to just
Yeah.
like anything Barry does now is okay.
And
So weird.
Yeah.
I think Adam and Dave kind of had a shorthand.
Yes.
And
Right.
so Andy can attest to this. On Archer, we don't use a ton of improv from the recording sessions, except Dave Willis.
Right.
Like
Wow.
when
Yeah.
Dave gets in there, he'll just,
Yeah.
and I think that's how they do Aqua Teen too. I think there's a lot
100%.
of
I had to
Wow.
edit Dana Snyder, who's on Aqua Teen, like a voiceover session of Dana Snyder's is
Yeah.
insane. Like,
Yeah,
like
man.
maybe you get the line once, but then you get a million things that are better than what was written. And
Wow.
Yeah, and it's always like Dave just making himself laugh in between lines, and those are the greatest
Yeah.
part. Those are the ones you take.
Dave comes in prepared like a professional wrestler, guys.
Well, he's been exploited by Adult Swim.
And you developed quite a relationship with Dana too, right, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dana
cool.
and I, we've sold a couple of shows together, and
Nice.
we still do conventions a lot together. I'll do a convention because the show I did, Code Monkeys, has a pretty big cult following, and so
Oh,
people
cool.
come for Code Monkeys. I also sign a lot of Archer stuff.
Cool.
Believe it or not. So,
I love
like,
that.
there was one convention I was at, Chris Parnell was at, and somebody like came and got like an Archer thing signed for me, and I was like, "Oh, Chris Parnell's over there. Did you see him?" And they were like, "No, we didn't get to Parnell."
Yes.
Well, you're doing this wrong. But,
Was this the introduction of "You're Not My Supervisor" too?
I don't recall.
Okay, because I don't remember
Yeah.
hearing it anywhere
It's
else. in the
thrown
first
away.
season.
It's such a throwaway in this
Yeah.
episode too.
Yeah.
Like God.
one thing I noticed about this episode that I wanted to talk about, because I stole, like, I'll say this forever, like working on Archer, like really like formed my writing style forever.
Cool.
And like I took more
That's Adam.
from the 9 months working with Adam Reed than I had from anybody previous. One thing he did so well in this episode that he does all the time is so Barry, they talk about his leg. Yeah, still hurts when it rains or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you flash back to reveal a little bit more of that story. And then you flash back to the present and Archer standing with Barry, and you kind of get the full picture of whatever. But the flashback to Archer holding Barry over the ledge was actually a flashback from the B story. So it was just such an interesting way to do that. So Barry talks about his leg, and then Mallory's pissed that Archer will be working with Barry and how they don't get along or whatever, and you don't know why. And then they flash to that scene. So Mallory causes the flashback that reveals more in the B story, from the B story to the A story. So like it's just like really, really like perfectly done.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
like anybody can rip out a flashback, and that's funny. But then like adding that layer is so good.
Yeah, and then also in this episode, the other thing that Adam does better than anybody is going from scene to scene, linking the scenes with dialogue and sound effects. And this episode, like almost every scene, it flows like that. And I remember at some point during the production, Adam was like, "Are we doing this too much?" And I was like, "I don't think so. Yeah. I love it. I don't think it's too much."
It for sure it became a signature of the show. That L style cut was a hallmark of the whole
with
series.
with dialogue, like like somebody completing a sentence, and then also with sound effects looping the what's this? And then in this one, I noticed when Woodhouse is doing heroin with the lemur, he says, "Put on some Mingus," and then some jazz music plays, and it's
we couldn't afford
scene.
Mingus, but something.
It wasn't Mingus. But
it's so cool.
Yeah,
it's so cool to see the things that happen in the first season, and things that become what the voice of the show is. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, in the second act, Pam says "danger zone."
Yeah.
Did you know?
I didn't even notice that. I don't even think I
was
wrote
like,
it down.
"Oh, Pam got a danger zone in,"
and it's totally thrown away. It's like a nothing line.
Yeah.
As we've been going through this first season, we have all been shocked at things that we thought probably took a couple seasons to develop are all in the first season. Like all of these established Archer gags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would notice that checking in, because I didn't watch every episode. Sorry, after season 1, I didn't watch the next 13 seasons.
Neither did Chris Parnell. Jeez.
But I did. Anytime I would catch an episode, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's a fragment from season 1." That's so
funny.
Yeah,
I
really
love
cool.
that when Archer's leaving, his accounts have been frozen. He's got his box of stuff. I love that the condoms hanging out are Honcho brand condoms.
Yeah.
So great. I don't know who was responsible for that, but it was so funny.
Honcho.
There was always like a legacy of different products.
Yeah.
I mean, early on we established the different liquors and beers.
Right.
Glenn Gooley became a thing. So
Yeah. And so we find out at the end of Act 1 that Archer is going to, in fact, be working for Odin, and we get the great line from Barry and Lynn, "I blew him off," and Lynn says, no, blow him on.
So funny.
Was the cutaway to boarding school, was that in Act 1?
It might be.
That's my favorite cutaway, I think, of the season and of the series, probably, is just Archer talking about his family playing lacrosse at boarding school or whatever, and then it's just like this fat little kid sitting alone.
So great.
So sad. It surprised me, and when I was rewatching it, I was just like, that's
great.
So good.
That little 2-note song is a reference that goes all the way back to Frisky Dingo when they would cut to something and that'll
it's so good.
So good.
Little fat Archer sitting by himself.
Did you hear that? It sounded like a satisfied yet boastful burp from deep within the gullet of Pam Poovey. You know what that means? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, bitches. Archer takes place in an amorphous time when the 3-martini lunch wasn't frowned upon, but encouraged. A golden age of drinks where you could throw down a random adjective plus a noun and a bartender would give you something delicious. Or if not delicious, something that would get you there. Okay. Today, we will discuss a few drinks based on this episode. Think of ways Archer characters would improvise them in a pinch and make up our own drink based on random ingredients. And the best part, you can play along at home. If you try any of the drinks we discuss, please send us a review at rephrasingpod@gmail.com or at RePhrasingPod on Instagram and TikTok.
Is
Casey?
that like a challenge? Sorry, are you challenging the audience
Yes.
to make these drinks? Okay.
It's on now.
Thanks, Amber. Today we have a few drinks that highlight the Archer episode Job Offer, Season 1, Episode 9. And in this episode, Mallory gets wasted on absinthe and tries to get Sterling killed. So let's look at a couple of cocktails that use absinthe.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think I tried absinthe once. What about you guys? Have you ever? Yeah?
I've had it a few times in mixed drinks, but not just I've never had straight like the absinthe with a sugar cube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson style.
While you're doing a weird painting.
No, that's what I was going to say. Both Christian and I went to art school. Tons of impressionist paintings
Of
about
course.
absinthe,
Oh, my
like
God.
Degas, and it always looks very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I tried absinthe, it was definitely like, I was like in my early 20s and like trying to, figure out what life was all about. Yeah. And I think I was in New Orleans, of all places.
Yeah.
Oh,
of course.
nice.
Absinthe like a sophomore at art college.
Yeah, exactly.
And back in the day, it was nicknamed the Green Fairy because it was purported to make you hallucinate.
Yeah,
Right.
it didn't just get you drunk in the old days; it would get you high too, right?
Yeah.
That was sort of the what was so great about it.
Yeah, it was
got you
probably
a
just
little
because
high.
it was like not made correctly.
No,
I know, right?
100%.
Yeah, why? Because some
Dangerous.
worms were pooping in that wood, I guess.
So the first cocktail I want to talk about is something that Aisha had mentioned in a previous episode. It's called Corpse Reviver No. 2, and it is a classic hangover cure.
Why?
And the ingredient, it's the hair of the dog that bit you.
Oh, okay, all right, I gotcha.
The ingredients are gin, fresh lemon juice, an orange liqueur like Cointreau, Lillet Blanc, which is a fortified wine,
Okay.
and then a dash or a rinse of absinthe. You will see that none of these drinks that have absinthe, you're not drinking it. It's just like,
Yeah.
I put it
Right.
in a glass and then poured it out, and
Poured
then
it out.
made the drink in that glass.
'Cause it's
And
frozen.
it's still gonna mess you up.
Exactly.
That's funny. A rinse.
Have you ever had a corpse reviver? I've never. No.
Me neither.
Not a-
Well,
yeah.
according to Aisha, they're one of the best cocktails.
Yeah.
And I guess they work.
Yeah, I have a date with my niece Jasmine to make corpse survivors because she watched the episode and she's like, we need to make those.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Are
we
you guys going to get really drunk the night before separately? So
Yeah,
you're hungover
Yeah.
for when you
Right.
get together to make your corpse
a
reviver.
great idea.
So Archer wants to make a corpse reviver, and he has all the ingredients except the lemon juice. So what does he do and use instead of lemon juice?
What else is in there again?
Gin, orange liqueur, Lillet Blanc, and some absinthe.
Wow,
Limoncello.
that's a good idea.
Make
gonna
it even
say-
stronger.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
Windex. A dash of
That's
Windex.
good too.
Yeah, that's the spectrum because I think limoncello would actually probably make it a little bit tastier because it's got a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Windex, limoncello. I'm gonna say.
Oh, wait, I changed mine to Mop and Glow.
Oh, okay.
the
Now
floor
it makes
cleaner.
sense. I get it now.
Now I
Yeah.
see.
That could
I-
be used instead of the absinthe. Like just pour a little in the glass,
Yeah.
rinse it with it.
This is crazy, guys. But you would do this in cooking, not necessarily in a cocktail. But if you didn't have citrus, you could use vinegar. So
Okay.
maybe a little bit of white vinegar.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Or like a fancy apple cider. Is
Yeah.
apple cider considered a fancy?
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
That's
huge
fancy.
jug of it down.
It's healthier, according to the Bragg family.
It'll also remove your skin tags.
Yeah. Okay, great. Great.
That's what he'd use. He'd use
yeah.
a skin tag.
Another absinthe cocktail is the New Orleans classic, the Sazerac, which is rye,
Okay.
Pashad bitters, a sugar cube, and an absinthe rinse as well. So you rinse the glass with some absinthe. Then
That's just to kill the germs inside. the glass.
yes. Then you put a sugar cube in there, put a couple dashes of bitters and a splash of water, and then muddle the sugar cube.
Okay.
Right.
So I hope your bar has a muddler.
Okay.
And then you add the rye and some ice. And sorry, you prepare it in another glass and then strain it into the glass that you put the absinthe in.
Wow. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you said you have had it at Sazerac before, yes, Amber?
I don't like brown liquor, so I haven't.
Oh.
I haven't. But I have been to New Orleans.
Okay.
Casey doesn't like brown liquor either because it makes his shoulder hurt.
Yeah, it used to in my 20s and 30s.
That's such a Casey thing.
My left shoulder, I'd drink some whiskey and I'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck happened?" I probably blacked out and was charging a door.
Oh, you got into a fist fight with your shoulder.
Brown liquor.
So Pam wants to make a Sazerac,
Okay.
and her nickname for Sazeracs are
Sazzies.
Oh.
Sazzies. I thought Sazzies.
Yeah,
Sazzies is pretty
little
good.
Sazzies.
Or the ball sacks.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make up a couple of ball sacks. You guys
You
in?
guys in? She doesn't have the sugar cube or a muddler. How does she make do?
Oh. Maybe a couple of those Smarties candies and the toe of her shoe.
I'm going to go with a hunk of sugar cane and an old ham bone.
That she just has in the bottom of her purse.
Yeah.
She was eating red vines earlier, so she's just going to hawk a loogie.
I've got one more drink to highlight.
Okay.
We're getting off of the absinthe, and let's talk about raspberries.
Okay.
The raspberry of
goodness,
everyone's
Casey.
eye, framboise. And here's a Framboise French 75. It's a variation of the French 75. And it has gin, fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, and creme de framboise.
Oh my god, that sounds delicious.
And
if
then
we
you
hadn't
top-
just watched this episode.
Yeah. And then you
yeah.
top it with sparkling wine.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah. So Lana wants a Framboise 75, but she doesn't have the creme de framboise. What item from her fridge does she use instead?
Oh.
She maybe could use that loogie again.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, so this is what does Lana have in her fridge also?
Yeah, right.
That's a little bit of a...
Yeah.
What's that fancy French jelly? The Baume.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're the little tiny,
Yeah.
and they've got the gingham tops.
Yes, gingham top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some jam gets used in cocktails a lot. That'd be a great idea.
Okay.
I once received that company a 12 Days of Christmas jam collection.
What?
12 different jams and different apple butters as well.
That is a quality gift.
Yeah,
I
great
love
gift.
a
From
consumable.
The kids. Yeah,
I
the
love
kids,
that.
The kids' advent calendar for Christmas. Yeah.
I don't know
What are we trying to replace again, Casey?
Oh, yeah.
the
No, it's
creme de framboise, which is like a
I mean-
raspberry liqueur or cordial.
How gross do you want the answer to be? How gross can it be?
I don't know.
It's got to come from, but you're right, it's got to come from Lana's refrigerator.
I think
I'll go with
a glug of Crystal Light.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Some kombucha juice.
Yeah, the Skokie from a kombucha.
By the way, Bon
Or Skokie.
Maman? Bon
Yeah,
Maman?
that sounds right.
Just quickly Googled it. They have a 24-day advent calendar.
Oh wow.
It's only
my
44.
God.
Jellies?
I believe mine was 12 was all.
It says
but-
fruit spread and honeys.
Yes,
Oh my God.
I had honeys.
wait.
There were honeys.
It's
I know what I'm
55 bucks. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm getting
You're gonna
Megan
get us all
Leahy
one,
that for
Casey?
Christmas.
Did you click 4 and then order?
You know what? Advent calendars for everybody. All right, we got one more thing I want to do. I have made a couple Wheel of Fortunes here with different ingredients to make a drink. So I'm going to spin it a couple times. The first thing we're going to spin is the liquor wheel.
Okay. If it doesn't go all the way around, we boo you.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Oh,
Tequila.
Okay,
Alright.
tequila.
Our first ingredient.
Then I'm going to go to the mixers. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope this wheel spins every time, just as long.
Yeah.
I bet I can make it go quicker.
No.
cranberry juice.
Oh,
Okay.
Tequila and cranberry juice.
And then we have mystery ingredient.
You're showing off now.
Slim Jim. A Slim Jim. Do we want to garnish as well?
I thought that was the garnish.
Yeah.
I guess it is. I'm going to give you one more here.
Okay.
Optional ingredient.
Oh. A lime wedge.
Okay.
Okay.
Raspberry,
Okay.
lime, tequila, and a Slim Jim.
Guys, I don't know if you've ever squished a Slim Jim, but white stuff comes out of the end of it, and it's really gross.
Yeah.
It's white, and then it's also like pizza grease, too,
Ew,
right?
it's
That
so
kind of
gross.
orange grease.
Okay. So now what are we doing with this information?
I want to know the name of
No,
the drink.
I don't want it. Can I reject this drink? Is that okay?
And this, I mean, any listener can review any of the drinks we talked about, but you get bonus points if you do this
Yeah,
one.
If you make
Wow.
this
Tequila, cranberry juice, a Slim Jim, and a lime wedge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what's the name of the drink and how is it served?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm ready.
All right, what do you
Yeah.
got?
Okay, so it's obviously you take a shaker and you fill it with ice. You rinse it with a Slim Jim.
So just rim it with.
Yeah, just rub it, and then set that aside because you're going to use it again.
Okay.
And then you fill it with tequila, and then so we'll say 2 ounces of tequila, 3 ounces of cranberry
Great.
juice.
Nice ratio.
Shake it, strain it over a glass. Take the Slim Jim and chop it up. And then you're going to make like a Slim Jim party on top of the ice. And then you're going to
Like
put
a matcha.
Yeah, yes, exactly, like a matcha. And then you're going to garnish with a lime wedge. And I'm calling it the November Honcho
Wow.
because it's
That's
seasonal.
Yeah.
all right. I got a quick one.
Okay.
Amber style, you squeeze the Slim Jim out of the tube into the bottom of the glass. Then cranberry juice on top of that, muddle it with a ham bone. Then tequila on top of that. Then you drape the skin of the Slim Jim over, the empty skin
Right.
over the edge of the glass. Toss a lime in there. We're going to call it the Macho Man
I like that.
in honor
Snap
of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
Snap into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say you do a shot of tequila and you pound
Just-
a Slim Jim and you wake up with like a raspberry burn on your face and it's
you
called
fallen down?
Andy Sipes Tuesday Night.
Yeah. All right.
Fantastic.
Great. It's
That's
great.
lovely.
What an order to put in at the bar. Like, okay.
All right,
You probably get this all the time, but here's what I want.
here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Is that
That's it.
the end of the segment?
That's the end
That
of it.
was so fun.
Can
Such
you give
fun
us a
segment,
burp
Casey.
out? Amber, can we have a burp out?
Yep. Okay, and now we're back to talk through the second half of our episode. Okay, so in Act 2, we see that all Archer's accounts are frozen, even the one on Isle of Man. And Cheryl says, "Oh my God, is that like Whore Island for women?"
Oh, Whore Island.
It's so good. What a hilarious line. And the thing that I'm appreciating so much is I'm going through and I'm like writing down the big plot points that we need to hit. And when I'm going through episodes, all the fun stuff is all the secondary characters that get to do. That's why everybody's like, Pam had the greatest lines and Cheryl has the greatest lines because all they're having to do is none of the heavy lifting of the story. They're just having fun.
Yeah.
Another really great line that I wrote down is when Pam says, "How you holding up, Mama Bird?"
That's great.
So fun.
Familiar tone.
Yeah.
Overly familiar tone or whatever she
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
So we see Archer kind of settling in to Odin. Mallory still doesn't believe that it's going to happen. Lana's still interested in the job, and Barry encourages her. And then Mallory begins her drowning of her sorrows in the absinthe, where everything starts to slide off the edge.
She has this line that's like, I killed my baby boy, and now my boy is gone. It's so great.
It's so ridiculous.
I like when Gillette says, "Are you going to remember this in the morning?"
Yeah.
Then fuck off.
That's a great scene in the thing where the mincing around and gawking is so funny. Like just that turn of phrase, like mince around, and then. Again, like another thing, like you were mentioning about the condoms, but there's the Pam graffiti on the bathroom stall, which is so funny.
One of the Archer tests you could take to become about an artist on Archer was to do graffiti on that scene. Like they would send you that image, and then you like had to paint in.
What? That's so cool.
That's cool.
That is so
That
cool.
was in the animatic too. I remember the Pam graffiti in the animatic.
I think it was in the script too. Like he just said, and there's a Pam tag in there, and so then it became like background artists hiding Pam tags wherever they could.
It was awesome.
Great.
Yeah,
that's so fun. I remember at a time I was like, I should order a bunch of stickers that are the Pam tag and start Lucky Yates style putting them up around Atlanta, and then it never happened. I don't know what happened to it.
Lucky probably got mad at you.
He probably did. He was taking them off behind me. We see that Archer porks Framboise and shoots Barry.
I'm telling you, Amber.
I'm bringing it back.
You gotta watch Porky's.
I know. I gotta
all the
watch
phrasing is right up your alley. You would love it.
Those are the juices I was bathed in as a young person.
Oh, that's so gross.
The Porky's juices.
Did you guys notice that giant pixelated whatever that Framboise is holding?
Yeah.
And
wait,
you can
what
hear,
was it?
Well, it's not specifically mentioned, but you can hear it vibrating very loudly.
Okay.
But
is that when she drops her box?
No, it's
when he's got her bent over.
Oh,
It's on the I noticed that because I was like, oh, that's wild. Like I didn't remember it, and it's not mentioned at all.
No, and I think that was the point.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't supposed to be drawn. We were just going to be like, and there's a pixelated thing. But I'm sure somebody drew something.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's probably spent a couple hours on it.
Yeah. Framboise was such an interesting character. Like she's so her personality doesn't match up what we're finding out about her. It doesn't seem like. It's just like, what is this character?
I think that's Judy as voice.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know. So Mallory demands that Trexler fire Archer, and Trexler tells Barry to kill Archer after they receive the burn notice. I did not know what a burn notice was until I rewatched this episode.
They made a whole TV show about it.
I know, and I was like, oh, that's what that show's about?
I guess. I don't.
I was unfamiliar with burn notice when we were making the show. So this 15 years ago was my first introduction to what a burn notice was.
I think it would have been mine too, but then I forgot everything that I did 15 years ago.
Yeah, well, anything, I'm sure Adam did just exhaustive research on the spy genre. I mean, he said when he was on that he read all the books in like old paperbacks or the old 007 books. So I'm sure he just had an encyclopedia of spy stuff to draw from.
Yeah. And then we get into Act 3. Lana makes it to Odin, followed by Cyril. And I recognize your line, Casey.
Yes,
that was from
thank
Two
you.
Truths and a Line in an earlier episode.
Avec your
Avec your box. Oh, no, it was the line about being on the plane.
Yeah.
And Cyril showing up.
Yeah, okay.
Both, so there was two in here. The whole gang is now drinking absinthe. And then Mallory is just very upset about the burn notice on Archer. And I wrote down, too, that Framboise might be a worse head of HR than Pam is.
I think so.
Yeah.
She's like the opposite of Pam. Like,
We're the
Pam is
best.
so, like, desperate to get laid.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Framboise
They're
just like,
shadowy images of the
Yeah.
same person.
Yeah. Maybe Pam just needs to be more open
yeah.
to
What
the
if
back
they're
door.
cousins?
Oh.
Well, Pam gets there. She
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
there eventually.
She
Let
does
me
get there.
explain your benefits.
Let's see. Oh, another fun line that I wrote down of Pam's was, I was going to say you could have another baby, but you're all dried up in there.
So harsh.
I like how Gillette says, "Oh my God, I liked her better mean."
Yeah. That's a great
Oh yeah,
line.
it's so funny. That's so great. I like to. I've used this on stage in improv shows before. Is when you leave an avocado out for too long on your counter, and then eventually, if you leave it out long enough, the pit just rattles around in the skin.
What happens to all the stuff?
It just goes away.
Dried up in there.
It's what happens. That's what happened to Mallory.
It goes away.
It just goes away
All right.
with time.
Gotta go.
So let me ask you guys this, because I was confused by this. So when Lana is there and she goes in while Archer's about to take his shower, and is she pretending to shoot Archer?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yes.
Okay. But then Archer comes out later like he doesn't know what's going on. Like what?
I think she pretended while he's in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
like he's such a dumbass who didn't even know that
Okay.
that happened.
Yeah.
So, but what was the body hitting the floor sound?
She just made that up to fool Barry into coming in.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we hear Barry and other Barry. This is
Yeah.
Barry's first episode. So that happens
Yeah.
the first time we meet Barry.
That's
Yeah.
is that the fracture moment
Yes.
for Barry?
Yeah. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, all right. Barry's weird to begin with.
Yeah.
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 I like to imagine there's a little like glass cracking noise when other Barry.
In his psyche. So
Yeah.
this is the first time we see Barry, but he is referencing in this episode times like history he has with everybody, right?
Yeah.
They all knew each other. Okay. Lana fixes the burn notice problem by just like saying, never mind. Basically.
Yeah. That got resolved real quick.
Yeah, and that's another thing, a black flag operation. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just Odin making this up. So
Yeah.
ignore everything.
Guys,
Now, is that what black flag means? Is that
Yeah,
is black
or-
flag a spy term? I thought it was a roach
Or
killer.
punk rock
That's Henry
term.
Rollins, yeah. That's the second vocalist, Henry Rollins of the band.
Who was the first?
I don't know.
It's another guy
nobody
in the
does.
band. There was a great Henry Rollins interview where he said he just liked that band, so he started following them around. And then they're like, "Come up and sing a song," and he did. And then the guy's like, "I don't even want to sing anymore. Do you want to take over?"
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
my
talk
God.
about
Right level of
manifesting.
angry.
Wow. And then Cyril takes Framboise for a spin, and we hear that she is the Pele of anal.
Yeah.
I wrote that down too. That's a wild line.
Right.
Like that is a crazy thing to write down and have
Yeah, and it's a
professionally
crazy
turned
thing.
into television.
Yes, it's just like holy shit. We were getting away with crazy shit, man.
I like what what Archer says before that, because he's like, he's not coming back after that.
And to just to be happening casually in like a storage area.
Right.
Yep.
That's
Well, a couple
Pam.
of lines I wrote down also. One that was like the scene with Archer and Barry in the elevator when Archer's like, oblivious that Barry and her have a relationship. And so Archer's just being Archer talking about, his time with her. Like, it is so crude.
Yes.
Like, so it's like she must have been a professional in Bangkok. Like I almost feel bad for her.
I know. I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
And now it's okay. Like whatever Barry does now to Arthur.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And then another one that was so great in the scene where Archer's naked, how tiny the sponge was, and how much of Archer's body was shown is hilarious. And then at the very end, it's off screen when Archer goes, climb down off that rag.
Oh man, that line. That's a line.
That surprised me and made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Another visual thing that started here at the end of this episode is a Archer tradition of Archer splayed out on the hood of a car.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
It happens so many times in the series.
Yeah.
And this was, I think, the first time we've seen it.
I remember in this one where when that happened, I was like, I don't know, should we do that? Because he's like clearly mangled and twisted in a million
his
different
shoulder
directions.
is behind
He's
him.
about
His
to
leg
die.
is wrapped around
He's going
the other
to
way.
die, right? Like,
And
yeah, he's
because
going to
most
bleed.
of the time leading up to that, I feel like some of the damage would go from episode to episode.
Right.
That was the plan.
I was like, he's so messed up after that car accident. Like, everybody's going to be upset that he's not messed up in the next episode. Nobody was upset. Like, it's fine. It's totally cool. Like,
But that's something
cares.
that we would have done 1,000 times in Frisky Dingo. But like when you're doing an FX show, if you push that too much, they're going to be like, "What? This guy's constantly getting his neck broken. That's not believable."
Yeah.
But we're trying.
I was just like, I think he's too messed up. I think we should tone it down. And obviously, I was completely wrong.
I believe his hand is even twitching a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice touch.
Yeah, that's happened a few times in this season where you just see him motionless, but his hand is twitching. To let you know he's still alive. Well, that's Act 3. That's the episode.
Hey,
It was just a delight.
It was a fun episode. It was an interesting episode because there was no mission in this one.
Yeah.
The mission was in the cold open, you know?
Yeah.
But it really does establish, like, from an editorial perspective, the flow of the dialogue is all very, like, classic Archer. It, like, really nails that aesthetic of the show.
Yeah, it was. I had a little bit forgotten how fast-paced the show was. This episode is very fast-paced. There were a couple of times I was like, I wish we could have let that breathe, but I'm sure we were just bumping up against commercial breaks and stuff.
So much
you can get in.
happens. There's so much packed into the show. It's
And
amazing.
this is something Andy can probably talk to. In those early days of Archer, it was still about broadcast TV and trying to hit that 21:30.
Yeah.
And it was strict.
And there was
You couldn't play around
no
with it.
wiggle room.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and by the end of Archer, I was like, Kate, we tried so hard. This episode is 23 minutes long, and she's like, it doesn't matter anymore. Nobody cares.
We'll just-
That happened during the production of Archer because it used to be like we are on the second.
Yeah, you
Like,
can play.
not shorter, not longer. It had to be bam
on the second.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, now FX shows you watch an episode of Fargo and it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. Or something.
I know. And then the next one's 40 minutes. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, so we're going to move into our final segment, Andy, which is trivia. But I need you to know that you have points that you have racked up over this episode.
Oh.
So going into trivia, you've got 66 points.
Okay.
66 points. And Christian, you actually got some points
What?
for the Macho Man drink. You've got 38 points.
Man.
You've got 38
Amazing.
points.
That's
Casey-
the most points I've ever earned.
Casey, you don't have any points today.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
that's fine.
Buddy.
Yeah.
So I have some trivia questions here for Andy.
Okay.
First one, in the teaser, in response to Barry saying, "You know where to find us," Archer says, "Yeah, where's that? Dicktown?" Dicktown was a show also animated by Floyd County Animation, or Floyd County Productions, and it was created by John Hodgman and David Reese. A lot of us found John Hodgman because of his 2005 book entitled what?
Oh, good grief. 2005.
We were making Frisky Dingo. I feel like it was the first book that everybody in the office read.
I certainly don't know it. The only I know Hodgman from his Apple commercials.
Yeah.
Was the first thing. So maybe it was called "I'm a PC." My best guess.
The book, it's very good. I highly recommend it. It's called "The Areas of My Expertise."
It includes the hobo code, correct? There's a whole section
and a
on
whole section of hobo names, like
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's
like
great.
500 hobo names or something
It's a
crazy.
great book.
Yeah, Hodgman's great. Super funny.
Yeah, these questions are very difficult, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
As you can see, Casey doesn't pull any punches.
It was like, all right. I was like, okay, I remember it was Dicktown, and then it was like, that's just the start of our journey on this question. Like, all right.
Cheryl asks if the Isle of Man is like Horror Island for women, but really, the Isle of Man is a self-governing crown dependency located where?
In is this for me or is this for the?
It's for
the
you,
table?
Andy.
Oh, okay. It is. I guess that's west of the main island there, and southeast of the smaller island.
What island?
That's
It's
for
like
you.
it's off the coast of like the UK,
Yeah.
but like whatever there's the big one here that's got the 3, and then there's the Ireland
Yeah.
one, and it's here.
Yeah, it's in the Irish Sea.
Irish Sea.
And it
You're
has-
already doing way better than any of us.
And we have found the more you talk out your answer, the better you do.
Yeah.
It has 2 official languages, English and what?
Welsh.
It's not Welsh, it's Manx. And in fact, people from there are called Manxmen.
Oh, I was going to guess mayonnaise.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, that was my first.
And Christian, if you could pull up an image that I shared with you,
I'd be happy to.
the Isle of Man flag is amazing.
Right.
Wow.
It's like right out of Game of Thrones. Right?
Wow.
I'm strangely turned on.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah,
This,
the horniest flag ever.
This symbol has a lot of different roots, but a symbol that has 3 things coming off of it is an ancient symbol called a what?
Ooh, wow. God, Casey.
3 things. Ancient. And 3 things.
Yes.
Try.
Uh-huh.
I don't. Horn swallow. Or I don't know.
So close. It's called a Triskelion.
Stallion.
You know that
course.
word.
Triskelions are ancient symbols used by the Mycenaeans and the Lycians.
Yeah, until the Sea Peoples came in and wiped them out. The enigmatic Sea Peoples. Is that what your next question is about?
No, my next question is Len Trexler is practicing polo. Andy, I'm gonna rapid fire you some polo terms. You tell me what they mean.
Oh boy. Okay.
A chucker.
That is the guy who hits it the furthest.
It is not. It's a period of play. A match usually has 4 to 6 chuckers.
What?
A hook.
4 to 6. A hook. I'm going to say that is a period of play, and there's usually 4 to 6 hooks per day.
It's a defensive move when a player uses their mallet to block an opponent's shot or
All
prevent
right,
them
that's
from hitting a
easy.
ball.
That was
Okay.
Yeah, sure it is.
Knock in.
Goal.
Knock in is when the defending team puts the ball back into play from their own back line after having gone out of the opponent's back line.
Okay.
And then
That was a
finally,
dirty joke.
divot stomping.
Well, I mean, I imagine that's when you would, in between matches, they go out and the refs or whoever puts the field back together.
Amazing. I think it counts. A halftime tradition where the spectators walk onto the field and stomp down the divots.
Yeah.
They're
So
like the
that counts.
Zambonis.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, right.
All right, half point. Half
And then
point.
finally, Andy, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, interesting. Well, I've got a polo match.
Oh, no.
How many chuckers?
I think the thing that I would like to plug is my old show, Dallas and Robo, where with John Cena that we talked about a lot earlier. Not underwatched, I feel, in the world of animation. There is so much of the lineage of Archer went into that show that it would probably lovingly be referred to as an Archer ripoff, hopefully. But definitely, like, the stuff that I learned working on Archer from Adam Reed, like, I put into as much of that as I could put into the script writing of Dallas and Robo, and I'm extremely proud of that little show. And yeah, if you can find it, I think it's on YouTube.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, if somebody wants to go and check that out, I think it's fun. And if Archer's your thing, which if you're listening to this podcast, my guess is it is.
I think
you'll enjoy it. It's a nice little breezy 8 episodes for the whole season, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So awesome.
Yeah,
okay. Andy, are you ready to find out what your score is after all of that trivia?
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
First, I'm going to start with Christian at 38 points.
Oh,
Kate-
okay.
Casey, you after that have negative 21 points.
Okay,
man, I'm so
fair,
sorry.
very fair.
And Andy, you came in at 66 points. 66 points.
Very
Very
respectable.
good. Very
It's a good
respectable.
showing. It's a good
Which
showing.
is how tall I am.
66 points tall.
6.5 feet tall.
That's
Oh, yeah.
great.
Yay!
So fun, Andy. Thanks so much. It was so nice to have
Yeah,
you on
thank
the
you
show.
for-
Yeah,
thanks for
thanks,
being
guys.
with
I told this to Casey, and like a couple weeks ago when he first approached me, like working on Archer was like so formative in my career and in my life that just like I'm just so happy to be associated with it in a tiny little way. So,
Same.
thank you
I know.
so
Yeah,
much.
totally. That's so awesome, Andy. It was so great talking to you today.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
And say hi to your wife and children for us.
I will.
Yes.
And also tell your wife, we got to get you to Dick's.
I still say that. We say that around our kids, and my oldest daughter is 16, so she gets it, and then the little one is like in middle school, and she's starting to be like, do my parents know what they're talking about?
It's Andy told me that anytime you need sneakers or any type of sporting good, that's what his wife would say to
My
him.
wife would go, we got to get you to Dick's.
It's so funny.
Oh my God,
Still.
she sounds like she's the best.
Yeah,
I
she's
love
great.
that. That's
She's
awesome.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
Andy.
thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
gonna
you
stop
so
us.
much.
This has been Rephrasing, an Archer Rewatch podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at RePhrasingPod. Email us questions at rephrasingpod@gmail.com. Please, no pictures of your penis. That's just inviting pictures of their penis, isn't it? Rephrasing is produced by Amber Nash, Casey Willis, and Christian Danley. Our theme music is by Matt Hobbs. FX's Archer is now streaming on Hulu. We're so excited to be a Maximum Fun podcast this season, and we'd like to thank all of the Max Fun members that support our show. If you're not a member yet and you'd like to become one, go to maxfun.org/join.